Hey, good morning, everyone. A couple of you last year, or about a year and a half ago now, when I purchased the ButtKicker Gamer 2, asked, how it was and if it was really worth it and did it really add to, the immersion in regards to flight sim. I said I was going to do a video. Again, that was a year and a half ago. Time really does fly, so I finally got around to doing this for you guys, for those of you that are interested. Quick short video on the ButtKicker Gamer 2 and how it translates to flight sim. So first of all, for those of you that are not familiar with what the Gamer 2 is, pretty much it translates the bass out of a audio output and makes it vibrate. Someone else who's a little more familiar with it can probably translate that better, but essentially it takes the bass out of any audio that you have and translates that into vibrations. It's generally used in home theater. Those of you that watch, action-packed movies, those who set up their home theater, they like to have this just around their couch or wherever they watch their films to get that nice vibration and feel those actual effects that are going on in the movies. It's actually made its way into gaming as well a couple years ago, mostly for racing games. But not many people use it for flight sim from some of the research that I've done. I guess, just because it's not really well known for how it translates to flight sim. So I'll attempt to demonstrate some of that here this morning. So first of all, the actual setup is pretty easy. So this is the amplifier itself. I just have it sitting here underneath the main console, if you will, just underneath the throttle quadrant and side tech radio panels. And I'm sorry, excuse the dust. We have some construction going on in here and I have not been able to clean. But anyway, this is the actual amplifier itself. Obviously, you need power. It just gets plugged into an outlet. You have your line in and out, and that goes directly into the speaker line out in your out of your computer, your CPU, and then obviously the device itself that triggers the vibrations is here underneath the seat. I have it upside down because I couldn't screw it onto the right side without it being in the way of this thing here, so it works either way. I have some tissue in here because it does sometimes cause a bit of a rattle once the vibrations are going. And then that gets plugged right into the back here. So again, it's just power. RCA line in and out into your CPU speaker line out, and then the actual device itself gets plugged right into here. Really simple and easy to get started and working. And then it obviously comes with the remote as well. I just have that sitting up here. I was trying to figure out a way to demonstrate the vibrations, and the best thing that I can think of was to actually put a glass of water here on the chair. So let's go ahead and turn that on. So we're in a flight currently. We're in cruise. And I've just switched on the ButtKicker. So as you can see, it's already giving a subtle thump or subtle vibrations. Just from the general cruising of the flight. Let's turn it up a little bit here. Obviously, if I was sitting in a chair, I wouldn't have it this high, but this is just so that you guys can see. And obviously, you can hear a little bit of rattling already, but that's again because I'm not sitting in the chair, and again, generally, I wouldn't have it this high. So, again, that's just the general vibrations from a normal cruise. My favorite thing about this, honestly, is besides the taxi rumble and the gear up and down, is the spoilers. So we'll go ahead and deploy some spoilers now. can actually see that rumbling more, which is really cool. I'm trying to film this here and try to keep this from sliding, so bear with me, but that's with partial spoilers deployed. And as we stow the spoilers, you see the vibrations go back to being a bit more subtle. So again, we'll deploy some spoilers. And you can actually hear it. And we'll stow the spoilers. Again, some folks, it may not justify the cost. That may be cheesy, you don't really need it, but it does a lot more than that. Obviously, I can't demonstrate that while in cruise here. We'll probably do another video of me taxiing around the airport, as well as when we're about to land. That's my second favorite part, is the actual gear. It's also going to depend on what aircraft you're flying. I find that the FS Labs is the best aircraft to demonstrate this with, because the sounds are so good. And that's when you can really tell if a aircraft developer has put some real good time into the sounds in their aircrafts. So FS Labs has a good amount of bass, which is allowing the ButtKicker to pick all of this up and translate that into vibrations. The thud when you're taxiing on the center line or taking off, the thud that you feel when you land, and then, like I just said, the spoilers and the gear extraction and retraction. I find it enjoyable, but again, it's to each their own. Trying to think what else here. Again, the setup is really simple. If you're using HDMI like I am, let me get this back to climb. If you're using HDMI like I am, you need to download a program called Voice Meter, so that it can actually pick up the sound from both the PC and the audio on the TV. Sometimes that can be a pain because it won't allow for you to have two separate audio tracks. So the audio tracks coming off of the game itself and off of the TV. So you do need to download Voice Meter, which allows you to pick up those sounds off of the game, and translates that into the vibrations in the ButtKicker. If any of you guys have any other questions about it, feel free to reach out. I can go into a bit more detail, but again, I think some of you asked about this about a year and a half ago, and I'm just now getting around to it. So take care, and I'll talk to you guys later.